One. Hello, everybody listening to the Fair Weather Podcast. It's your boy 2K Suave. Want to know Philadelphia Eagles. I'm here with Fireman Ed, aka A-Rod. Fireman A-Rod 01 Jets. Jets. How are we doing today, my friend?
That is Jets. Just end the season. So
it's only week one, man. Come on.
It is week one. I'm brutally honest about my team. So if they think that they're going to win at least 5 games, let's pump the brakes really quick.
Fair Weather Podcast, man. That's what we do.
Exactly. I made it for guys like Fireman Ed back here, man. Nah, man, football's back. Life is good. It was good to celebrate my birthday weekend watching a whole week of football. And
doesn't it feel good?
It does. It really does.
The world feels a little bit better when it's football. Like, it just feels like the fall is here. That means, like, it's like Halloween coming up. The weather's getting better. The time's about to change. It just feels it feels different. Like, just the feel Mondays. Like, I wake up on Monday morning with a little bit more like, oh, it's Monday morning, like football talk. Especially when teams want to know. It's easier to want to be up on Monday.
A lot more drinking, a lot more wing eating, just very, very, very fun now. Like you said, Monday mornings get a little bit more exciting now, knowing that we have football on Mondays, on Thursdays, and on Sunday for sure. So
I had to go on a quick little juice cleanse this week because the alcohol and the food content particles that I was eating this weekend. I was like, look, man, I got to flush this out of my system. So I'm gonna cut back a little bit on all the chicken wings and nachos and stuff.
I do those as well, man. I don't drink a lot anymore. Now that football's back, I got a reason to. So
yeah, exactly.
I'll be joining you on those juice cleanses and things like that. So stay tuned. Episode 37. The rundown this week, we're going to go over the best games of week one, and then we'll give our best and worst wins, meaning our best win for one team and our worst loss for another team. We'll also go into the new faces, new places in the NFL, new players in their new teams and how they impacted them. And then we'll break down our teams, how they looked on week one, KK's takeaway of the Eagles, my takeaway of the Jets, and then we'll critique each other afterwards and give our hoorahs and our poo-poos about each other's teams. We'll also jump into a quick fantasy outlook for the people who did, fantasy football this year. There's a lot of big name pickups. There's a lot of guys that won new days. So we'll just go over those very briefly. Fun little segment, just open discussion between me and KK.
Freestyle.
And then, exactly. And then for the last segment, we're going to do away for the NFL season. We're going to get away from the fun segment of where do you go to college or something witty we come up with. Maybe we work that into the script somehow. But from here on out to week 17, we're going to do a NFL Pick-Em between me and KK, where we'll take 5 intriguing games on the season, and we'll give our score. We'll tally it up at the end, and the winner gets bragging rights, and we'll just go from there. We're going to have
now we're saying bragging rights, but, this might get a little juicy towards the end, so we'll see.
Somebody's taking somebody out for a nice steak dinner with a +1, so we'll see what happens. All right, so let's go into week one. A lot of entertaining games all the way from Monday night, all of Sunday, and even, from Thursday night yeah. All the way to Sunday night, all those games. And then even the Monday night game to the very, very last second was very entertaining.
So we got some good college games too on Saturday.
And we had some good college games too. But personally, myself, I just don't care about college, man. It's just not in me. So
I'm football. When Thursday hits, I am football from Thursday night all the way till Monday night.
I can't. I got to give myself some mental space, man. I love baseball, so I guess that's me with baseball. But we're going to break down some of the intriguing games. And the first one we're going to go with is our Thursday night game between the Bucs and the Cowboys. Very electrifying game. I had my doubts about Dak. I even said it on the last show. I said, avoid him like the plague. And he's number 2 in the league already. I know it's week 1 in passing. And he looked very comfortable out there. And then Tom Brady shows why he's father time. He's a fucking wizard. Let's just say at the end of the day, the motherfucker's a wizard. And he's going to do what Tom Brady does. So what were some intriguing things you took away from that game, even as an Eagles fan looking at it, I'm pretty sure you're relieved they're 0-1. That's for sure.
As an Eagles fan watching that game, my heart had like palpitations. It had an irregular heartbeat the whole night because I was like, I expected the Cowboys to go out there and put up some points, but ultimately they wouldn't be able to keep up with the Bucs given the magnitude of Dakota Prescott's injury just last year, and then all of the summer, all they kept talking about was a shoulder, quote unquote, because I don't believe it anymore. I think that was just the Cowboys and Jerry Jones blowing smoke up our ass to make us take them lightly, because if somebody has a messed up shoulder and coming off of a gruesome leg injury like he had, he threw 58 passes. So one of my biggest takeaways was that was a bunch of shit that they were feeding us, because there's no way someone has a bad shoulder and throws 58 passes on the opening night on the road and efficiently 42 of 58. 3 touchdowns. He had 101 quarterback rating. He was phenomenal. However, on the flip side of that, yes, Tom Brady is going to be Tom Brady. He was amazing. He's 44 years old. He's been doing this since I was in middle school. It's literally insane what he's been doing. They said he's 15-4 in week 1 starts, which is the most by any quarterback since like 1950. Like it's insane. It's insane how it's like we take him for granted now, because I know A-Rod for the longest time had him in his division, so it's hurtful when the guys in your division, but like when you see him from afar, and now we get to see him kind of up close in the city of Tampa, it's kind of just remarkable what this guy's been doing. But my biggest takeaway, honestly, is that the Tampa Bay Bucs secondary is atrocious, and I think, and I talked about it last year, and I talked about it over the summer, and going into my look, the defensive line is that's where the money is made for them, right? But if the defensive line is not getting to the quarterback,
and the linebacker core too, man.
Their defensive line is great, and the linebacker core is probably the best in the NFL. That the front seven we all know is probably the best in the NFL. I wouldn't deny that, but they were getting exposed. My boy 35, Dean, he was getting ran through by Dakota Prescott. He was like everybody. Cooper, go get him. CeeDee Lamb, go get him. Michael Gallup, go get him. They had this dude number 1. I don't remember his. Where did he come from? Go get him. Well, who the hell is this guy? Like, go get him. So it was just they. I don't think the secondary is good now. The defense, like JPP, Shaq Barrett, Vita Vea. They got Tanya now. Like, they got the guys to do it, the horses to do it. They're gonna send, they're gonna send the linebackers every now and then, but the linebackers are good with the running game, as well as dropping back into cover. So the linebackers are gonna be fine. The defensive line is gonna be fine, but if they're not getting to the quarterback, I'm gonna do the same thing that Dak did. If I'm the offensive coordinator, drive back and pick them apart, and just get rid of the ball quickly. It didn't go according to plan, but both teams gonna they're gonna feel good about themselves in the morning. Cowboys got a moral victory, and the Bucs is 1-0, and they got the lowly Falcons next.
Yeah. So some things to take away from it for me. The Cowboys did their best, or I should say the Milwaukee Bucks did their best Dakota Prescott impression with saying Giannis had this gruesome injury and then balled out in the finals. And
yeah, what kind of lie was that?
this comes to be the new thing, is like, let's make it seem very gruesome and then give our fans what they want. So Dak looked great, and I'm glad he looked great, and I'm happy to take back my pick on saying he's not going to have that great of a season. I hope he has a great season. I watched the Hard Knocks. I just finished all of Hard Knocks now. It was really good.
You watched it?
Yeah, I finally watched it.
I didn't watch a clip. I didn't watch an episode, a scene. I don't care. I didn't.
Yeah, I know.
No interest whatsoever.
Yeah, when they have the Patriots, I'll be the same way. But
I'll watch them. I want to see Bill Belichick.
Anyways, the team itself, like between Dak and Zeke, have a good relationship. They're like best friends. But the one thing I noticed about them being best friends, and you have this star-studded running back, Zeke rushed like what? Not even 10 times. I think Zeke rushed like 7 six
Zeke
times.
had 11 carries for 33 yards.
Yeah, that's not enough for your
That is
start.
not Zeke that I
That's
know.
yeah, exactly. But also to your point, and I've been saying this for as long as I as long as I remember, at least the last 5 years, that the Bucs secondary is just atrocious. So those guys, Dak saw it. Dak was like, yo, man, I got to feed these receivers. We're going to pick and tear them apart. And they did that. Exactly is what they did. So that's another thing I took away from it is they didn't really use the run game that much. They probably knew they weren't going to succeed there with the front seven of the Bucs. So the passing game prevailed. And then the last thing I'll take away from it, besides the Bucs secondary sucking, is Tom Brady is now 6-0 versus the Cowboys. So another year for you boys to try and get that win on Uncle Tom there. So
We them boys, huh?
yeah, y'all still them boys.
Y'all still
So, yeah.
boys.
That's
Listen,
what I took away from it. But very, very exciting, very electrifying game. Probably one of the best games that was out there, and a great game for Thursday Night Football to kick it off.
that Zeke thing is concerning. Like, again, I don't care what the game plan is. You got Ezekiel Elliott. Like,
Exactly.
the ball needs to be you got to dump the ball off to him. You got to do whatever you got to do to get that man involved in that kind of a game. I mean, you drafted him 4th overall for a reason.
And you paid him. And you
paid him hella buku money.
I agree, but I think it also plays to the game plan too. And I feel like Mike McCarthy's that kind of guy.
But I don't think that was.
I don't agree with it one bit. I don't agree with one bit. But there's so many toys on the Dallas offense.
Well,
so many.
But now they're getting hurt. Mike Gallup is hurt for a few weeks now. They just lost to Marcus Lawrence for a while. Their offensive line has to keep dropping back and protecting. And now, the offensive line is already kind of banged up as it is. La'el Collins is going to be out for 5 weeks for drugs or whatever is in the system. So, like, you got to give your offensive line, like, an opportunity to kind of just take some play. And then when you're running that high-powered offense, your defense is going to be back on the field quickly. So your defense is already – you want to talk about a secondary that's suspect? The Cowboys have a horrible secondary.
Oh, yeah, they have a horrible defense altogether. But
their defensive line is good. They got Van Der Esch.
Historically, their defense has been pretty bad. So it's week one. It could change, but historically, their defense has been their Achilles heel always.
And the problem that they're having is that they keep passing. They're getting off the field quick. Now their defense is already suspect with horrible corners. I mean, them dudes were sweating. It was hot. It's Tampa, bro. It was hot, Thursday night game, and they were just gassed. And Antonio Brown was getting past them. Gronkowski looked like he was 25. It was just, you got to protect yourself by controlling the clock. And you realize the Cowboys never win time of possession. They always drop back. It's always just drop back. They need to control the clock, protect Dak's shoulder and his leg, protect your offensive line, protect the defensive players as well. So,
very fun game to watch. So let's go to game 2. Browns versus Chiefs. Very another high electrifying game. It's always good when Baker Mayfield takes on Patrick Mahomes. But Chiefs prevail as always. Everybody thinks the Browns are going to be a Super Bowl favorite. Patrick Mahomes has to just remind you once again that, remember, I was down by like 17 points to the Texans in a playoff.
It was 20. I think it was 24 or something like that.
Yeah, it was a substantial amount that you're kind of like, well, these guys are out. And Patrick Mahomes, in his best Kermit the Frog voice, said, "Hold my beer," and won that game. So the kid's a wizard too, man. He's like Tom Brady 2.0. He could go down as one of the best if he keeps this up in his career, doesn't get hurt, and keeps this winning culture going. So, I mean, your takeaways from this game.
So last week, we did our Super Bowl picks and everything like that. And I picked the Cowboys, the Browns, to make it to the Super Bowl. But I prefaced it by saying what was going to happen. I said week 1, I go back and look at the footage. I said week 1, the Browns will lose to the Chiefs. It's not going to be like they're going to blow them out or anything. They're going to play their ass off. And if the Browns played the best possible game they could possibly play, they ran the ball well. Baker didn't make too many mistakes until that very last pass that he made. He went 21 for 28, 321 yards. I mean, he didn't get the ball to the end zone, but you got Nick Chubb, you got Kareem Hunt, you got your dogs. They play without OBJ, who's going to be out again week 2. So I think the Browns did everything they needed to do to prove to themselves that they can win. They can make it to the Super Bowl. They just need to learn how to close. And I think Baker Mayfield needs to just. I mean, that just comes. I mean, I would say that comes with experience, but Mahomes has been doing this since he got into the league. So, and at the end of the day, it's against Mahomes. So there's no shame in losing to Mahomes, especially in the fashion that they lost to. I mean, there was that guy who, what's his name? I forgot his name. The punter. He got the ball. He fumbled the snap. All he had to do was rugby, get out of the pocket and just rugby kick it. But he tries to run on like 4th and 13. To me, that was the turning point of the game. Outside of that specific play right there, and then that crazy Tyreek Hill, pass that Patrick Mahomes threw 50 yards on a dime out of the pocket on the run. Outside of those 2 big plays, the Browns could have easily won this game and would have been feeling good about themselves. So to me, the Browns are still positioned well to do what they want to do. But obviously the big dog in the AFC is the Chiefs, and that's not going to change. But I think they'll use this as film and as motivation that look, we're going to roll through the rest of the regular season. We're going to do well, and we're going to have to see these guys again. And it's hard to beat. We talk about it's hard to beat the team twice and hard to beat the team 3 times. It is hard to beat the team twice. We saw the Giants and the Patriots back in 2007. The Patriots were going for that undefeated, season. They beat up on the Giants in week 17, but had to see them in the Super Bowl, and they figured them out. So I think the Browns are going to have to figure it out. I'm not going to write them off just yet, but you can never write off, my homeboy now. Like Patrick Mahomes is different, man. He's different.
Yeah. So my takeaways from that game, Baker Mayfield, you just gotta stop making commercials, man, and play football. I know you want to get paid on all.
Hey, go get that money. Go get that money.
So these what are they, progressive commercials?
Progressive.
Yeah, with the staying at home with Baker Mayfield, and he's a housewife, and
But check it out. If they came to you with the same opportunity, like, I gotta win first. What'd you go?
No, I get it, but like I said, I feel like he's got. Stephen A. said it best. He's got more commercials than he has wins. So
he's doing better. He's doing better.
He's doing better. I'm not trying to poo-poo all on him. I just think that with the star-studded defense that they have, like they literally have, in my opinion, almost an all-pro at every position on defense. If you look at it from top to bottom, every guy has an arguability to be an all-pro candidate or Pro Bowl or whatever you want to put it.
Yeah.
On offense, the same exact thing. And I've been saying it for years that Nick Chubb is the most undervalued running back. I know he scores a lot, but he doesn't get like the same respect or it gets thrown in the category of the Dalvin Cooks, the Derrick Henrys, the Christian McCaffreys. I know he goes high in fantasy, but like he's just the focal point of that offense, in my opinion. I know OBJ is there. I know Juice is there. Kareem Hunt is always there. At least gets a touchdown a game too. But just feed that man. Let him get chubby, man.
The offense is centered around Nick Chubb. Like that is like they don't want Baker Mayfield doing too much. They want Chubb to be the focal point and the centerpiece of the offense. So
I feel like that, but when OBJ comes back, that's going to be another headache right there because you're going to have to feed him. He's not going to be playing this week, they already said, but he's going to want his touches, and he's just a prima donna. I'm not a fan of his. I call it how I see it. He's a prima donna. He got yellow hair. He likes looking better than he likes playing better. So I'm not a big
sure this offseason.
We'll see, man. I'm just waiting for another boat picture with him and his shirt off and Trey Songz, just whatever. But took that away from the game that the Browns got to be better. They're going to be better. I mean, this is just one loss. They're going to be really, really good this year. They will make the playoffs. I think Browns' curse of not making the playoffs is going to come to a screeching halt. After last year, they'll be consistently in there as long as they can keep a talented team on the field around Baker Mayfield. And then the Chiefs, like, there's nothing to take away there. They're Super Bowl champions. They went to the Super Bowl last year. They know how to get it done. There's just a lot of rapport on that team between Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, and Patrick Mahomes. Like, they all know their roles. And then the defense just – they're mediocre in my opinion, but they make the plays that need to be played. So they go out there, they make the stops that need to get stopped. The Honey Badger will eat. And then people say it's a crazy pass to Tyreek Hill. I see it as a regular Sunday afternoon for Patrick Mahomes. So
that's what makes it crazy, because but 31 other quarterbacks in the league are not allowed to make that pass.
exactly, but he's got the key to the city to do that. So it's one thing, it's a blessing that we get to see from Patrick Mahomes. It's always going to be an electrifying, entertaining game with him. We rarely get to see a bad game with him, and when we do, it's going to be electrifying the next game. So,
also, really quickly, Andy Reid is 9-0 against the Browns.
keep
You're talking about the Cowboys and the Bucs, Tom Brady. Andy Reid is 9-0 against the Browns, so let that sink in.
Yeah. All right, let's go another big game that a lot of people thought was going to have a different outcome. Saints and Packers played in Jacksonville, which was very, very strange. So Jameis Winston is now the reigning starter. Can't do an interview for shit still. Like, God bless him. I hope his
leave that dude alone. Yo, I'm tired of the unjust hate toward. Look,
I don't hate it. I honestly like it.
What did he say wrong?
He said my athletic trainer told me. He said.
What did he tell me?
Exactly what he told me. He said just go out there and win.
But what's wrong with that? Listen, man, y'all.
My athletic trainer told me. What did he tell me? Oh yeah, just go out there and win. Like.
Man, James he's from Alabama. He country, man.
I get it, but like, it's the worst part about it is that he grooms himself to be like, he starts using some big words before he didn't use, and he tries to sound smart, and then he just fumbles, and you're just like,
it's like T.I.
Exactly.
Expeditiously.
Exactly. But anyways, Jameis Winston is now the reigning starter.
Let's go, Jameis.
Out there, and the Saints just gave it to the Packers, like raw dogged them big time. Like Jameis didn't have a crazy game throwing the ball, but he threw 5 touchdowns. So that's big right there. I think he had like 125 yards,
148 like yards.
Yeah, he didn't break 200, but he was prolific enough and efficient enough to just win the game, not play stupid, not play that turnover ball that we've seen Jameis Winston play, and got his LASIK surgery that definitely helped, and he outs Aaron Rodgers, he didn't even throw a touchdown. They scored 3 points. So if you had any type of Packers on your team that game, God bless, man. You're probably hurting. So take away. So
listen, man. People are so stuck on what the Packers didn't do. I'm all over what the Saints did do. First of all, their defense. No, they year after year, we talk about their offense, but their defense is stellar every year. Like for the last 4 or 5 years, they realize, especially with Drew Brees getting old, our defense got to be. We got to do what we got to do to protect our offense at all costs. And their defense has been stellar. I mean, they're just built properly. They sign guys when they need to sign them. They trade for the right guys, like literally a minute before the game. Like they figured it out defensively. So. I'm definitely shocked that the Packers only scored 3 points. Obviously, that's not what I expected whatsoever. The game wasn't even played at the Superdome. It was played in Jacksonville on a neutral site. So it wasn't like there was more Packer fans there. So the actual outcome of the game score-wise was obviously just mind-boggling. It was crazy. But and then the Jameis Winston stats, 140, 14 to 20, 140 yards, 5 touchdowns. 37 yards on the ground. He was looking a little mobile out there. His slow ass was looking a little mobile out there. I was like, okay, looking good. But like the thing about Jameis, and I've always defended the man. To a fault sometimes. Obviously, 30 interceptions a couple years ago, but the man Jameis Winston, like the talent is obviously there. It is not like he's not talented. He obviously won a championship at Florida State. He was obviously the number 1 overall pick for a reason. He obviously. The year he threw 30 interceptions, had 5,100 yards. 5,100 yards. Only 7 other people could say that they got 5,000 yards and 33 touchdowns to go with it. There were 7-9 that year. And yes, a lot of it was his fault. But Bruce Arians is no risk it, no biscuit. You told and that's the worst person that you should be telling no risk it, no biscuit, because he's going to risk the hell out of it with his bad eyesight at the time. Now he got his LASIK in. He's got Sean Payton, who just Sean. You want to talk about quarterback guru? People say Kyle Shanahan's a quarterback whisperer. No, it's not. People say Sean McVay is a quarterback whisperer. The jury's still out. Okay, the quarterback whisperer is Sean Payton. Whether it's Teddy Bridgewater, Drew Brees, Taysom Hill, Jameis Winston, no matter who his quarterback is, for a week, 2 weeks, 5 weeks, the whole season, they're going to get it done. That's what they do. And my biggest takeaway was not the passes that Jameis Winston completed. It was the ones that he threw away and not forced. That was what made me happy to see, because Jameis Winston, the talent is obviously that he's going to take chances and do things that he's not capable of. But he threw the ball away when he needed to throw a ball away. He got it out of the pocket and scrambled properly and protected the football. He has 0 fumbles and 0 interceptions. I don't remember the last time I said that for a Jameis Winston game. It's like that to me was just all I needed to see. It was beautiful. And then, I mean, the Saints defense. Aaron Rodgers had like a 1.3 quarterback rating, 1.3 fantasy points or something like that. Aaron Jones looked horrible. Devontae Adams. Look, all these people saying Devontae Adams is the best receiver in the league. I'm sorry, I do not agree. Like, and I'm hearing it too much, where it started to piss me off over the summer. I'm like, do you not see Hopkins over in Arizona? He balled again. If you not see, God, I can go. Give me somebody else, anybody.
Yeah, bro, I get what you're saying.
Tyreek Hill, like, come
on. Yeah. So my takeaways, you took the words right out of my mouth, that Jameis Winston didn't make a lot of bonehead plays. And it showed, like 125 passing yards. He didn't throw for 300 yards with 2 interceptions or anything. He threw the ball when he needed to throw it away. And the biggest takeaway is that he didn't make the bonehead plays, but also Sean Payton is just a great coach, man. He's a great coach, and he can get the most fucked up. I don't want to say fucked up. I guess someone who's in a bad situation, like a Teddy Bridgewater who can't make it anywhere, and turn it into a good thing for him. Hey, you start, you've got exposure now. Someone's going to take a chance on you, and you'll be starting somewhere else. Same thing with Jameis. Learn from Drew, learn the playbook. You're going to get your time to shine, and it's your team after that. So you get to see that with the coaching staff there in New Orleans. And I mean, no Michael Thomas either, and he did this against a Packers defense, which is not the worst, but I mean, they looked really bad.
Who was getting killed again?
Oh yeah, Aaron Rodgers, of course.
No. Who on the Packers defense was getting killed again?
Oh, King, man. King.
Why does he have a job in the NFL as a starting corner?
I don't know, man.
I do not understand. I literally do not understand it.
And another thing I took away from the Packers side is it's just one game. I know you get your ass kicked in, but it's one game, just like Aaron Rodgers said. And it seems like both him and who's the head coach, LaFleur, right?
Matt LaFleur, yeah.
Yeah, they're not on the same page. One guy said one thing, Aaron said the other thing.
It's messy.
It is messy. Like the childish has got to get swept under the rug. There's already rumors of Rodgers or Russell Wilson leaving next year for another team.
Russ got to stay, man. Russ got to
stay. I know, but let's not get into Russ. Let's just
I know.
I
like Russ.
I think Aaron's just got to be the bigger man here. He likes to win. He doesn't like to lose. And you got to rally the troops. You got to get back on the horse, and you got to inflict pain this week against the Lions, because that's what you got to do.
That's what you do.
Yeah. So this is their homecoming game against the Lions. But even at that, it's a different Dan Campbell, and the Lions put up 30-something points. So that's very strange.
That was fake 30-something points. They put up those last 21 in like the last quarter, just because the 49ers make boneheaded mistakes. But really quickly, with the Packers and Saints last year. Remember week 1 and the next time they played, the Bucs and the Saints played. The Saints beat the hell out of the Bucs twice last year, beat the brakes off of them. Okay, so we can't be surprised when the Saints do play well. I mean, and then the same thing with the Packers. Last year they got the brakes beaten off of them by the Bucs. So the Packers are susceptible to getting ass kicks every now and then. And the Saints are very capable of giving ass kickings every now and then as well. So to me, it was like a perfect storm. But we can't take too much from it just yet. But I definitely love what I saw with Jameis. And I think we'll see a bounce back on Monday Night Football. It's actually the Monday Night Football game. Is the Packers and freaking Lions.
Yeah. It'll be entertaining. So
no.
And our last game we're gonna break down is the Bills versus the Steelers. You have your AFC East champions, or AFC champions, and they went to the AFC Championship, lost to the Chiefs. Second in MVP voting, Josh Allen. take up against the first starting 11-0 Steelers, and then just came crashing down at the end of the year. But you have two division winners basically going at it with each other. And man, I thought it was in Buffalo too, wasn't it?
It was in Buffalo, yeah.
Yeah. So it's at
I
home.
saw babies getting thrown through tables and stuff. So
yeah, exactly. You think it's going to be a different outcome because both of these teams have a big home presence. Buffalo gets loud now that the team is actually relevant again. And the Steelers fan base is just always there. So it's crazy to see the Bills fall to the Steelers like the way that they did. They look nothing like the team they were last year. They looked lost at times. Josh Allen looked like he was just scrambling too much, not doing what he should have. And the Steelers defense is just, they're the bomb, man. They're good. They're really good. So what are your takeaways from this?
Funny, the first thing I put as one of my notes for this game, I was like, damn, that Steelers defense is really freaking good. But to be completely honest with you, I am not surprised whatsoever. I told you, and I said it a couple of weeks ago, I forgot which episode. I said Josh Allen, to me, is more Carson Wentz than we think. You know, I said the same. I said the Wyoming thing, yes, the talent is there. But, at the end of the day, like, you're going against a Steelers team that's been counted out all summer. Mike Tomlin has never had a losing record. TJ Watt just got paid, and TJ Watt is a dog. He's probably the second or third best defensive player in the league behind Aaron Donald. Probably second. I mean, you can make a case for one of the Bosa brothers or Jalen Ramsey, but either way, like, we know, like, so that didn't surprise me that defensively they weren't going to play that well. Offensively, it's not like the Pittsburgh Steelers did anything impressive. Your homeboy Najee Harris didn't have a great game or anything. He had less than 50 yards. Big Ben had under 200 yards of passing. So they didn't do anything specifically on offense that was sexy or impressive. But I knew the Steelers defense, they travel. They're gonna be good at home. They're gonna be good on the road. They're gonna be good in Antarctica. Like, it don't matter where they at. They play well and they're healthy. So I am a little concerned about I'm not concerned about the Bills per se. But I do think we kind of jumped on that bandwagon too quickly. How everyone just assumed that they're just the best team in the AFC East, not even close. They don't like their running situation is Devin Singletary, who they're not in love with. Zach Moss was a healthy scratch. Matt Breida didn't even get that much playing time. So the real running offense is we're gonna run the ball with Josh Allen. Even though the Singletary had a good game, he had 72 yards. 11 carries. So he threw 51 times. Like, I've seen too many quarterbacks throw over 50 times in a football game. That is not how you beat the Steelers, by throwing 50 times. It's just, I wasn't overly surprised, not gonna lie.
Yeah. My takeaway is that defense is just good. The defense is for the Steelers is just really, really good. And all you got to do with that team is, if the defense can hold up, just play efficient football. And that's how Big Ben plays now. You don't got to make the big throws, just the 30-yard passes, the 15-yard passes, a couple handoffs here and there. They got to feed Najee Harris,
He got 16 carries. He just didn't make a lot of it. He had 2.8 yards of carry, but that offensive line
is kind of ass right now.
Yeah.
So, but I think they got to make that offensive line better. If they got to bring back, who's the guy they cut, DeCastro, for no reason, be like, hey, my bad, man, come on back. They got to do something. But regardless, they played the right offense they need to play. They didn't have to get too flashy, kind of like in basketball when you're up by 10 and you're shooting 3-pointers every second. Like, just play proficient basketball, play proficient football, score when you've got the lead. Don't get too flashy. Just keep staying in control. And then on the Bills side, did Diggs score? I don't think he did he?
He has 69 yards. I had to check. I don't remember. No, I think Gabe Davis scored.
Yeah, so he was held in check for the most part.
Yeah, he had nine catches, 69 yards, no touchdowns.
Okay, yeah. So in my opinion, that's keeping him in catch. He didn't go over 100 yards.
Yeah.
A lot of catches. 9 catches is a lot, man.
They're going to target the hell out of him. Yeah.
They knew where it was going. So,
yeah.
I mean, you got Emmanuel Sanders, too, who's no slouch either, and he wasn't used enough. So I think the biggest takeaway from the Bills for me is like you got to find out who you're relying on, because the defense played pretty well too for the most part. You have to rely on your running back too. You can't make Josh Allen do all the scrambling. He's a good runner, but when it's like he needs to run. But you've got running backs there. You draft Zach Moss pretty high. Like, use one of these guys.
He didn't even play the last game, which is crazy.
Yeah, so I think that's my biggest takeaway from the Bills. They're a pretty complete team for me. I agree with you on the Carson Wentz comparison to Josh Allen. I think this is last year was his flash in the pan year, and then we're going to get a similar cool down, decent quarterback out of him. So
because at the end of the day, he's not a bad quarterback by any means. You know what I mean? But he wasn't as efficient again. Like, it was back to just, ooh, should he have thrown that? Ooh, why is that ball going over there? And I was like, that's a Josh Allen that we forgot about. That was only 2 seasons ago.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's this, like, the game. If the game is boring, the Steelers are going to win. Like, that's just how. Like, besides the Bengals and the AFC North, if the game is boring, the Browns are going to win. The Ravens are going to not anymore with the Ravens. They're flashy, but if it's boring and the Steelers are in the game, they're going to win the game. That's just how it goes.
Yeah, the Steelers play prototypical classic football, in my opinion. Like, it's boring, but it wins you games.
Steel curtain. They just steel miners. They just play good defense, run the football.
All right.
Good plays.
So out of all the games, Thursday, Sunday, Monday, who had the best win in your opinion?
The best win for me, I was between two. I'll
pick one.
Damn.
You got to pick one, because I got two too, and you probably got one that I got, so I'll piggyback off of it.
I'll pick the Texans.
See?
I'll pick the Bengals. Oh. The Bengals. I'm gonna pick.
I had the same thing too.
Same two.
I got another one though, so go.
All right, I'm gonna break down the Bengals. You can. I'll break down the Bengals since we both have the Texans.
Rapid fire them. Go.
Yeah, the Bengals were just. I mean, Joe Burrow. Same thing I was saying about Dak Prescott coming off of an injury. I can't tell, man. Joe Burrow is amazing. He changed the play at the line to get the ball to Uzoma to win the football game. It was just beautiful. Jamar Chase, God, he's phenomenal. So, and then the Texans, man, they beat the hell out of Urban Meyer and Trevor Lawrence. Beat the brakes off of them. The team that we thought was gonna be the worst team in the league, they beat the brakes off of Jacksonville. So, yeah, those are my two.
Yeah, so I had those two too, but I'll throw in another one. I'll say the Saints, because I think it's just a good game for them to come into the season. New quarterback, new team. You don't know what you're gonna get. There was that quarterback fight for who's going to be QB1. We all knew it was going to be Jameis, and Jameis came up on top and beat the hell out of a really, really good team. So I'm giving it to them, but I also agree with your two picks though. That were my other two picks that I had as well. So worst loss, give it to me.
My worst loss is and it sounds crazy. All right? People will probably say the Packers. Mine was actually the Ravens, because they should have won that football. They were up 14-0. They had the momentum. They had a couple bad fumbles, bad breaks here and there. They had an opportunity in overtime when they got the ball back, and they didn't take advantage of it. So, and now, guys, so I live next to McDill, and his planes are loud as hell. But anyway, and now their schedule is tough, because now they're already 0-1. They got the Chiefs coming up. That's already going to be another L. They got the Broncos. Their schedule is tough, and you don't want to start the season 0-1. And Pittsburgh got a game on you already, and the Bengals got a game on you already, and you already dealing with all these injuries. So to me, because of their schedule, these are one of the games that you circle as a W. You can't lose this one.
Yeah, I had the Packers simply because they just got the shit pushed in, but that was my other team too. And then I'll throw in one more. I'll throw the Vikings in there. The Vikings, you went against a team that was one of the worst teams in the NFL, and they looked like one of the best teams in the way they were clicking. And there's not one guy in that secondary that I can say is like really, really good. And they balled out. Like, I don't think Justin Jefferson even got over 100 yards or a touchdown. So you held Justin Jefferson in check. Thielen,
it was cute. Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase got to play against each other.
Yeah, but Thielen got to eat, thank God, because he's on the fantasy team. So
I should have kept Thielen in my other league, man. I screwed the pooch on that one.
But yeah, those are mine. All right, let's jump to another topic. New faces, new places. A lot of new trades, or a lot of trades in the offseason, new signings, some players in new places that look really, really good. We'll start with Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford looked very comfortable as the quarterback for the Rams. Sean McVay doesn't have to have a headache of a kid that he has to coach that's probably 3 years younger than him. Doesn't have to talk about his girlfriend all the time. And Matthew Stafford, man, like he's just, I've always said, like, if you give him a defense, he'll win games for you, man. And the Lions
are a football team.
Yeah, exactly. Give him two of the best defensive players in all of football. And it's just insane, man. Like, no running back, and they still look pretty good out there doing it all. So
yeah, I give some respect to Henderson. Henderson look good.
Yeah, no, but he's not like a household name. He's not like the groomed guy. He's definitely the handcuff. It was supposed to be Cam Akers' team. That's why they took him in the second round. But he played well. I'm pretty sure he had a touchdown. He looks flashy on the field. I'm a big fan of Matthew Stafford. He gelled well with everybody. He didn't make any bonehead throws. He looked like he was playing like a normal game out there. It's just foreign to see him with the Rams. So I think it's a good move. They won their game, obviously, and kudos to Matthew Stafford. I like him.
Matthew Stafford, first Rams quarterback with 2+ touchdowns and 56 yards in the game since Kellen Cummins in 2013. This is all Sean McVay wants. Get the ball down the field to Cooper Kupp, Van Jefferson, to Robert Woods, Higbee. Get the ball down the field. You got the weapons. Get the ball down the field. So Matthew Stafford is a gunslinger from Texas. I mean, went to Georgia. He's a Southern boy that likes to get rid of the football.
Played at Plant.
Stafford?
Yeah.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did. He went to Plant High School.
You thinking about
Look it up.
You thinking about the other guy?
Look it up. Aaron Murray, but look it up. He went to Plant for a little bit. Anyways, continue your story.
Oh shoot, you're not lying. Wow. I did not know that. Well, shout out to Matthew Stafford. Look at me. I sound like an idiot. But anyway, long story short, gunslinger is in a gunslinging offense. He has a love relationship with Sean McVay. They met at a hotel in Cabo, Mexico, and it looks beautiful. Like you look at all the favorites in the NFC. You got to put the Rams the top three with the Bucs, the Rams, and whomever else you want to put over there. You put Philly, you put but yeah, no, Matt Stafford looks amazing. No qualms about it. No qualms.
All right, let's go to another guy, and I'll let you take the seat on this one. Mr. Carson Wentz of the Indianapolis Colts, no longer Philadelphia Eagles.
Oh man, you know how refreshing it is on Sunday when the 1:00 games are on, and Jalen Hurts is taking a deep breath on the sideline with nobody threatening him behind him. He just looks comfortable out there. Meanwhile, on ABC, you got not ABC, on CBS, you got Carson Wentz getting sacked 3 times, got a fumble, just the same old Carson Wentz. Talent is there. Do not get me wrong. The talent is there, but the intangibles are not. Just is not like Howie Roseman was talking about. I think it was Howie Roseman and Jeff Lurie, and they were asking him about his decision to draft Jalen Hurts, and he was like, "We played in 6 playoff games since we've had Carson Wentz, and Carson Wentz has played in zero of those games. What else are they going to do? Again, we've played. No, he didn't. He played in 1, but he got hurt in that one. We've played in 6 playoff games, and we've needed a backup quarterback for every single one of those games. Obviously, and Jalen Hurts, he said the reason why he drafted Jalen Hurts because he thought of him like Russell Wilson, and Carson Wentz is not that guy. He's just he got destroyed by Russell Wilson. So you're not that guy, buddy. You're not that guy. Honestly, with that amazing offensive line that you have there, how do you make your offensive line look bad? He made his offensive line look bad. Last year, the Colts were a top 5 offensive line, Pro Football Focus, eye test, whatever, and he made their offensive line look bad. Same thing he did for the Eagles. So it's the same old Carson Wentz, 251 yards, 2 touchdowns, a fumble, and 3 sacks. Sounds about right.
Yeah. It's hard to go up against the Seahawks in your first game, man. Like Russell Wilson just let that boy cook now, man. So he's gonna be cooking a lot, and he cooked the whole game, man. He had a great game, 4 touchdowns. He had like almost 60, 70 yards on the ground. It's crazy. Like
remember Jerome was on last week, and he was like, "You too. You both picked Russ to win MVP, right? Let Russ cook, man. Let Russ cook. Like
that boy cook.
I love it."
Let's go to another new face, new place. The Texans running backs. There's 2 new faces, and David Johnson, who once was a very high coveted running back, gets a demotion to basically being a receiver. So I guess Mark Ingram is the starter. I don't know.
26 carries. Yeah, he the starter.
It would solidify that. Mark Ingram is your starter. David Johnson factors into some touches and receiving. And then you've got Phillip Lindsay, who just plows in there as well for the goal line touchdowns. But all 3 of them scored a touchdown last week. So what do you think about this team? I'll give my breakdown first. One, I'm a big Mark Ingram fan. I think poo-pooing on him, sending him to the Texans, just gives him a full head of steam to have a great season. Send him to the Saints. Just put him there again. Let him be with the Saints.
Yeah.
And as for the other guys, like, shame on you for like dogging David Johnson this way. I think David Johnson is good when you give him a good O-line.
You just love it because of fantasy.
Dude,
he was one of your fantasy saviors, right?
$2,000. He won me $2,000, bro. Jesus. I can't, but I also think he's got a lot of talent there. I just think that he's in a bad situation. I think they don't have a good O-line outside of Tunsil. And he's fast. He can run the ball. He can also catch. We got to see him. He had like 3 or 4 receptions in that game for like, I think 40, 50 yards, which isn't bad for a running back. And he's not even starting. So, I mean, and Phillip Lindsay, like, he had a good year with Denver. He's a hometown kid. Why not make him your star running back? But instead, they went out and drafted someone who's a year younger or 2 than him and put him out.
Melvin Gordon, like he's no slouch. Melvin Gordon would look good against the Giants.
We'll get to Melvin in a second. Let's not throw Melvin's name in here just yet. But all I can say is there's 3 really good running backs, in my opinion, on this team. All are RB1 in my opinion, possibly 1 RB2 some, but I think it's the best 3-headed monster in the league right now until Baltimore gets their 3-headed monster that they just made overnight into shape. So
another new face in Houston was Tyrod Taylor. Now I'll add him to that list of new faces, new places in Houston, because Tyrod Taylor, like we were talking about a little bit earlier, man, he was slicing it, dicing up the Jacksonville Jaguars. He had some rushing yards as well. He had 291 yards in the air. He had 2 touchdowns in the air. Like to me, that whole combination of, listen, man, I know we want to sleep on the Texans, but Brandon Cooks is still good, and the running game is they got the heads to do it now. And Tyrod Taylor is not going to lose you a football game, like we always say. He's like Teddy Bridgewater. You're not going to lose you any football games. So to me, I wouldn't say, oh, let's start putting some respect on the Texans name. It was just Jacksonville. The first ever NFL coaching start for Urban Meyer, first ever start for Trevor Lawrence, and then the defense is really not that good. They were 1-15 last year, so it's not like they beat anybody. But yeah, you gotta put some respect on their abilities and the guys that they have. It's just a lot of it's like cast-offs and castaways. Like Mark Ingram should go be playing for a Super Bowl team. He deserves that. Phillip Lindsay obviously looked great in Denver, and David Johnson, I know you love that man to death. So they got the dogs to do it. It's just, it's like it's so dysfunctional there. So I think kind of clouds what they've actually put together.
2 things I can take away from this with the running backs there. 1, Baltimore's kicking themselves in the ass for letting Ingram go, knowing that they are very hazy on the running back situation.
There's no way they could have known that.
I'm just saying they're kicking themselves in the ass the way they did that, because they phased Mark Ingram out of the playbook at the end of the season. Yeah, and the leading team in the division right now, 1-0, not the number 1 pick, not the leading rusher in the NFL, And definitely, who's the other team in that league?
It's the Colts, the Titans, and
A brand new quarterback at Indy with our defense. It ain't them. It's the Houston Texans. So,
that's crazy.
One last guy. I don't even want to. We'll skip that guy. The rookies is another big one. All the rookies, for the most part, they all shine. A lot of them shine, even with their college teammates. They shine. So I'll give 3. You give 3. You want me to go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. I'm pretty sure I'm going to take some of yours. So I mean, hey man, I don't know if who's a bigger Devonta Smith fan. I think you are because he was wearing your.
There's no way you're even close to the Devonta Smith.
Who was putting him in his mock drafts as 3rd overall? This guy was, okay.
It don't matter.
I am a big Devonta Smith fan, and
bigger than me.
I don't know, man.
Ain't no way, bro. Ain't no way.
that tealish green might look good on my skin, man.
You jump on the bandwagon, my friend.
I'm a big Devonta Smith fan, and I've been saying it like he's the biggest steal of the draft, and Jalen Hurts being there at the quarterback just makes it even better because they had rapport in college and they gelled perfectly. Got his first touchdown, looked effortlessly. He led the team in receiving too, didn't he?
Yes.
Yes. So that's a good stat to come right out the books with right away.
We spread it out pretty well.
Another one, Jamar Chase, obviously had a great game. We dubbed him as, or people were dubbing him as Mr. Drops in the preseason, but he had an identical play, and it was so scary to watch that shit. Like the way the LSU guy matched it up from the pros to college, the same play straight to Jamar Chase looked really, really good. So
it gives you some goosebumps.
It gives you goosebumps, man. So even Burrow was shook. He was like, he caught those balls. Oof. So Jamar Chase is my number 2. And then my 3, I'm going to put a running back in there. I was going to put a quarterback, but Mostert goes down. And the guy we didn't expect to step up, Elijah Mitchell, just takes the cake and runs away. So if you picked up Trey Sermon, he might get mixed up into it now. But Elijah Mitchell looked really fucking good out there as a rook, a 6th-round pick. So
yeah, man. He took the words right out of my mouth. Really quick with Devonta Smith, man, he caught that touchdown pass in the same exact end zone in the same corner where he caught his first ever in the championship game against Georgia. And the most beautiful game I ever watched, not the most beautiful game, but like one of the more fun games I watched in the college championship. It was in the Georgia Dome. It was beautiful. It was just electric to see. Man, listen, man, I've been telling y'all all summer long, man. I told y'all since last year, Devonta Smith, whatever y'all got to do to get Devonta Smith in a Philadelphia Eagle jersey, my fortunes will forever change. And look at me, I am ecstatic and I'm happy. All this talk that he's too small, he's too skinny. Get the hell out of my face. I cannot tell. He's breaking ankles and taking names, route running university. Let's go. Obviously, I looked at Jamar Chase and Elijah Mitchell as well. I mean, come on. Obviously, they did their thing. Jamar Chase had the drop season. I can't tell anymore. 5 catches, 101 yards, a tub. Elijah Mitchell, 19 carries, 104 yards, a tub out of nowhere. It's like, who the hell is this guy? He was owned by 0.1% of fantasy owners.
And the crazy part is they like Trey Sermon a healthy scratch after he had a great preseason.
They don't tell these coaches don't be telling you nothing. Like, all right, we just gonna play this guy, okay?
I got a feeling like he just like Trey Sermon went into the running backs coach's room at the hotel and shit in the toilet and didn't flush it. And they were
flush the toilet. Like, yeah, man, you're gonna be a healthy scratch.
Yeah. Another guy I was gonna throw in there. I knew we'd probably have the same list. I was gonna throw Justin Fields in there.
Man, I was about to say that.
Like, you got to give the guy his props. He scored a touchdown. He ran it in. He looked really, really comfortable in that offense. And even the offense looked comfortable to make the plays for him. As with the Red Rocket, it looked a little bit shaky on stuff, in my opinion. I think the team wants.
Andy's wash.
Yeah. The beer does no help. I think just put the kid in, let him play, man.
How about this? Out of the 5 rookie quarterbacks, you think had the best performance? Mac Jones, Justin Fields, Trey Lance, Zach Wilson, your boy, and Trevor.
I'm going to say Justin Fields is who I'm going to say had the best performance. I know he didn't only play like 5 or 6 snaps, but they were quality snaps. I know Trey Lance threw a touchdown too, and he played like 4 snaps or like had like 4 passes or whatever. I would say Justin Fields, Mac Jones, Zach Wilson, and then maybe Trey Lance, and then Trevor Lawrence, because Trevor Lawrence had a very low QB rating, and it was
I wasn't mad at it.
I wasn't mad either. I wasn't mad. I don't
You
want to
know what you get yourself. You in Jacksonville. You got to just let that thing rip and get like he was making passes that still there's passes that he makes that other people, all these other rookie quarterbacks cannot make. They just can't do it. So it's like kind of like Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz makes some throws that nobody in the NFL, only Patrick Mahomes can make certain throws. But he's boneheaded. It makes a lot of dumb decisions. I think Trevor Lawrence to me is still the best quarterback out of those five. He's just in the worst situation out of those five because when Justin Fields takes over in Chicago, they're gonna be fine. They're not gonna be great, but they're gonna be fine. Mac Jones, he looked comfortable. He looks like an NFL quarterback already. Zach Wilson, that you can speak on that one, and then Trey Lance, same thing. When he gets into that offense, the way they run the football is perfect for how he's gonna play. So, best quarterback, worst situation is Trevor Lance.
I agree. All right, let's talk about our teams. I'll start first with the Jets. Obviously, I'll poo-poo all I want, and then you can critique it from your end, and I'll do the same thing for you. So my takeaway from the game is there's a lot of things, a lot of emotion going into this game because you're playing against your former number 3 overall pick in Sam Darnold that you swindled away from the Browns, who was the clear number 1 overall pick, and then you decided to open your mouth and say, hey, we took Baker Mayfield and he looked great. And then the Browns last minute decided to try Baker Mayfield out, and they were like, yeah, we're taking him 1. So you did your dirty work. You got the guy that you wanted, and you gave up on him. For the fact, and I've been saying this for the longest, you don't give him an O-line. Just because you get him one guy in Becty, who's been hurt so far since we've had him. He's been hurt. He's great. He's fast. You know, at the end of the day, I really don't want a fast O-lineman. I just want a guy who can block. I don't care if he runs a 4 and fast like a shit. I want him to block. So I like the pick. I don't like the pick for that. And then you get Vera Tucker, which I'm happy with. He did his job too, but Becty's hurt. O-line is banged up, and Zach Wilson had a run all over the place, similar to what Sam Darnold had to endure. So what I take away from this is it's the same exact Jets team, a bunch of just new names out there under a new regime, and the head coach is a really good head coach. I love Saleh. I think he's going to be good for the culture. I think next year we'll get some better players around him once we see what Zach Wilson is capable of doing. He didn't make too many bonehead plays, in my opinion. I think he had to run for his life the entire game. But what I took away from the other side, looking at my old quarterback that you think I have a man crush on. I don't.
And Najee Harris.
I have a man crush on Najee Harris. I don't on Sam Darnold. I just think that we tried to ruin his career, and he's going to succeed here. And why I say that is because he looked comfortable in that offense. He had an O-line to protect him. He also has possibly the best Swiss Army knife in all of football in Christian McCaffrey. He has rapport with one of his receivers who got a big touchdown from him and Robbie Anderson. I think it was his only catch of the game. And DJ Moore and the other guys that are there, like, they look great. He looked great passing the ball. He looked comfortable. He even ran one in. So that's what could have been for the Jets if they decided to draft right and not make some bonehead plays in the drafting. And basically, in my opinion, piss off your defense and get rid of most of them. Because I know damn well Mosley doesn't want to be there. Mosley just waiting until the last day of his contract to get the hell out of New York, got his payday, opted out for COVID, got hurt the first season. Like, it's another year being a Jets fan, man. Like, I'm happy if we win 5, but I don't even think we can win 5. But what I can take away from it is that we still have not established who our running back is. It seems to be an ongoing problem every year.
Yep.
Corey Davis looked great. Corey Davis made some great catches. He was in the end zone twice. He got 2 TDs, I believe. He looks comfortable, man, and I'm happy with that. Also, the punter, man, like, we went and got Morstead from the laying around, which is great. But, like, it's typical Jets season, some idiot play and the punter is gone. Now the kicker has to do kickoff. So that also impacted the game. But at the end of the day, like, you got to protect your quarterback. You got to play better defense. And You got to find out who this running back is because, like, there's no flashy player there. Like, Tevin Coleman's years, those are done, man. Like, those been done since Atlanta. And then Ty Johnson, I think he came from Detroit.
Detroit, I think so.
That don't say a lot to me. He might have had one good fantasy game, but I don't care about fantasy. And then you got the young buck in Michael Carter, the offensive Michael Carter, not the defensive one. Feed him. And then you have LaMichael Prerine, who went to Florida that we have, that's just sitting around doing nothing. Like, come on, man. Like, feed the young kids, man. It's a young team. Don't bring in Tevin Coleman and get distracted by his name. Oh, last thing I'll take away. Elijah Moore. Yeah. No.
Whose fault?
3 yards.
Whose fault was that, though?
He didn't look good out there, bro. He didn't look good out there. It's one game, but I want him to prove me wrong. Like, if I want to buy one jersey this year, I want it to be an Elijah Moore jersey. I want to buy an offensive player jersey, not the quarterback. I want Elijah Moore jersey, and I'm not gonna go buy one with a -3 yards in your first game.
You gonna get a Devonta Smith jersey. That green might look good, man. It might look good.
I'll buy you one too. So all right, spit it. Give me your takeaways from my team.
Your boy got sacked 6 times. Your offensive line, you're right. They ain't doing shit for nobody. Your running back situation is horrendous. I don't know what the hell's going on over there. Corey Davis looks at when he was in Tennessee. I'm like, I don't see it. I see it. He's like that. He's like that. So, but that's it. That's all he got. He got Corey Davis, a bad offensive line, running backs that we don't know who he trusts. And that's about it. You get your boy Crowder coming back from COVID this week, right?
Be a good slot. It'll be a good slot.
That's going to help you guys a lot. I mean, he targeted him a lot not him, but he was targeted a lot last year. So
he's always targeted a lot, even when he was in Washington. He's probably in my top 5 slot receiver in the league. He's got to be when he's running on all oars. I
gotta have to look at the list, but yeah, you're probably right but yeah. So when he comes back, that will help a lot. But at the end of the day, I'm all about trenches. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to win on the O-line, you got to win on the D-line. Everything else, like, the Packers just told you guys, and the Chiefs, you can have Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Jones, and Devontae Adams only scored 3 points. But Bakhtiari's out on the PUP list, and the best offensive, and they traded all the best offensive linemen in the summer, and now they look terrible. Same thing with the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. You have Kelsey, you have Hill, you got Mahomes, and they got blown out by the Bucs. If you don't have the dogs in the trenches, and you don't have a running game that you could trust to go with the dogs in the trenches on both sides, there's nothing your team is going to be able to do. It's just plain and simple. You win football games in the trenches. So, Zach, 20 for 37, 258, 2 touchdowns. Corey Davis, he had a good opening.
Yeah, I agree. And we didn't get blown out. 19-14, that's not a horrible loss. Something to keep your head up still. Like, it's not an ass kicking or not just got your teeth knocked out like the Packers did. So
yeah,
it's a loss.
The trench has got to get better.
At the end of the day, it's a loss. So, like, winners win.
But y'all, my other takeaway, y'all are cursed, man. Y'all be getting injuries from left and right. Oh, yeah. I don't know where these come from, but y'all are cursed with the injury bug. Like,
the
Ravens with the
the Ravens running backs are D line, man. Like, it's crazy. So we did sign somebody, but it wasn't like oh my God, we got him off the waiver wire. Like, man, it's a long season, so we'll see what happens. But all right, it's your turn. Let's uplift the situation. Let's talk about those fly Eagles fly.
Oh, man, let me tell you, man, it's been a long time since I've been in a good mood about the Eagles, man. Last year, and I'm very superstitious when it comes to football, and I feel it right before the game starts. Last year, I didn't watch any football game that the Eagles played in with Eagles gear on whatsoever. I just knew it was gonna be bad luck. So what was the point?
That's like with the
Knicks.
With the Knicks, I never wear any Knicks apparel ever.
So today, I mean not today, it's Sunday. I was all right. I wore my hat, same hat I'm wearing now. So this is gonna be the hat I wear every week now. Go Birds. I wore it backwards, and so it wasn't like facing the TV, and that's how it's gonna be for the rest of the season. So, what do I start? Do I start with Jalen Hurts? Jalen Hurts, man, like breath of fresh air. I mean, the kid, man, he's got it all. And I remember in Alabama when he came back, he threw that touchdown pass because I think Tua got hurt or whatever, and he had that interview with Nick Saban. I remember I recorded the video and I posted it on my Twitter. I'm like, this kid got it. Like, I love this kid. And look at him. He's my quarterback now. I'm so happy. Devonta Smith, I don't know how you're a bigger fan of Devonta Smith than me, because Devonta Smith I don't like to buy jerseys of people that are younger than me, but I will buy Devonta Smith. I will buy Devonta Smith jersey in a heartbeat. Jalen Hurts jersey sales went up 500% overnight. Like, it's beautiful to have. And I told everybody during the summer, and I don't know why people don't listen to me. We were bad last year because our whole team was hurt. We're not a bad football team. We just had a lot of issues internally with management, right? But we drafted well. All the guys that we drafted are playing well. Jalen Reagor, touchdown. Devonta Smith, touchdown. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside was blocking his ass off on all these screenplays that made Quez Watkins look good. Another draft pick of ours. Jalen Hurts, draft pick, played well. Dallas Goedert, draft pick, played well. And then offensive line.
Talk about Miles Sanders, bro.
Miles Sanders and Gainwell, both of them balled. Like, every skill position that we had on offense balled. Our offensive line, Jason Kelce was mauling people, the best center in the NFL, the best right guard who missed all of last year with an Achilles injury is back, and he's mauling people again. Lane Johnson, the best right tackle in football, is back, and he's mauling people again. We just re-signed Molly out a 4-year deal. He looks good. Sam Malo looked pretty good. Like, and our D-line, Hargraves, we had 3 sacks in the game. The Gravedigger, we drafted Milton, Fletcher Cox, Brandon Graham.
You don't got to break down every player.
Matt Ryan was on the turf, and he looked miserable. Calvin Ridley was in the torture chamber after the first quarter. Kyle Pitts did not look like the next coming of Tony Gonzalez like people thought he would. I am so happy with the Philadelphia freaking football team, Eagles. I'm just, you know what, man? Listen, I'm not gonna get ahead of myself. But look, DeMarcus Lawrence just got hurt. I'm sorry, Cowboys fans. Michael Gallup was hurt. Your offensive line is shuffling with COVID issues and injuries and guys taking steroids. Listen, I don't know what we coming for that damn crown. NFC East, we coming for that crown. I'm saying it right now. We coming for that damn crown, Cowboy fans. Let's go.
All right, let me break it down now, because I've been waiting to say this shit for a while. I would love to sound the way KK sounds right now about my team, man. I really would, man. It's uplifting. It makes me feel good. It makes me want to be a closet Eagles fan, because I really do love Devonta Smith, man. And I love seeing Jalen Hurts succeed, because the league wrote him off. They said he's got to change his position. He's not going to be this. He stuck by his guns. When he was given the opportunity, he succeeded. And the one crazy stat I saw about Jalen Hurts today, he's got more 300-yard games than Lamar Jackson.
Yep.
So throw that one in there. 2 to 1 game that Lamar has. But hey, man, I like what they did. I like the chemistry on the offense. I had them doing very bad this season. I still don't think there's going to be – I think they'll come down to earth a little bit, but I think they'll have a little bit more wins than I projected them having. We can go back and listen to that. But I do like what I see. It's a great game to go against the Falcons. And what I take away from the Falcons then is like, you Falcons fans, stop with this shit, okay? Just stop. You're the worst team in the NFC East or NFC South. You're the worst team there. Your time came once the Super Bowl happened, y'all came down to earth, okay? Everybody came down to earth, because I'm not going to say his name. We know who he is, who's a big Falcons fan, wanted to trash me on what I said about Calvin Ridley being a number 1 and all of that shit. 5 yards, 51 or 5 catches for 51 yards. Don't look like a number 1 to me. You went and got Kyle Pitts. What did he do? 4 catches for 31. Like, come on. You think the
defense is stellar, man. That's all I'm gonna say.
The defense was stellar, but like, you're supposed to be this power offense. Mike Davis, you went and got Mike Davis, who's a glorified backup, in my opinion, to make him your number 1. And he still got outperformed by whatever his 2 or 3 is behind him.
Patterson.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's a team of
That's a
we don't
new
know.
face, new place, and he outperformed them.
Dude, that's a first round pick that's just a glorified journeyman and does well 1 year everywhere he goes as whatever they wanted to be
He's a
as.
return specialist.
Yeah, dude, he can do it all though. But if you need him to be a running back, he can be a running back. Like, yo, so Falcons fans, stop that chirp. Like, you have a lot of things to look forward to, like as far as the future. But Matt Ryan, let him win, let him go. Draft a quarterback next year, but you got to rebuild. I know everybody's gone except Matt Ryan. And
I got a question. Do you think they're gonna regret drafting Kyle Pitts over like Justin Fields? Because the quarterback was right there for them to take.
I think what they should be more pissed off about is letting Austin Hooper go, because that team, if you look at the Falcons like 3 or 4 years ago, they look just like the Cowboys, studded on offense all over the place at every position. And
I mean, they got Hayden Hurst still. They got Hayden Hurst. Hayden Hurst is a
he's asleep, but they obviously gave up on Hayden Hurst. Okay, they gave up on him. He had a pretty decent season last year.
He was playing,
but they gave up on him, man.
He was playing this past Sunday. He looked good.
Okay, but he's not the number one option anymore. Like, he's not gonna be that guy.
2 tight end systems work.
Yeah,
Dallas Goedert.
Now for the Falcons,
Zach Ertz.
So I think, to your question, I think they should have went after a quarterback this year because it was a deep quarterback draft and a lot of guys that had, in my opinion, had good resumes to draft. Like, this was a 1 year that you should have took a quarterback, not like Brandon Whedon has an excellent year and we're going to take this 30-year-old college player and throw him into the Brown system. No, like, everybody had a good resume and you fucked up. So once again, Falcons fans, I'm not poo-pooing on you. Like, stop, like, we're the dirty birds. This is the house that Kanye built. I don't want to hear none of that shit. Okay, like, let Kanye.
You sound like a Bucs fan.
Well, Bucs fans, they're gonna come crashing down to earth as soon as Tom Brady is gone, and as soon as Gronk retires, and as soon as Antonio Brown shoots himself in the foot, and as soon as Chris Godwin is gone, and all those defensive players want to go get paid somewhere else, they're gonna come down to earth. ASA penis, bro. I'm telling you right now. So what I'm taking away from this is, Eagle fans, yo, solid win. Keep the momentum going. Can you win the division? I think it'll be tough to go against the Cowboys, in my opinion. But other than that, I think you can take them, bro. I'm with you. Fly, Eagles, fly all day. Let the birds fucking release. Hey, that's the dirty bird right there. Is the Eagles are the new dirty birds. I don't want to hear that Falcon.
I want everyone to keep doubting us though, because they doubted Jalen Hurts. They doubted Devonta Smith's size. They doubted Nick Sirianni because he was weird with his press conference. They doubted our defense. They doubted everybody. And guess what? We got the underdog mask back on.
I like the underdog thing going on, but to keep it 100, you kind of doubted the head coach too. So
I doubted the hire because I didn't know who the hell he was.
Okay, all right. Let's transition to some quick little fantasy talk real quick. So we are in Townie Sports Fantasy League, and we didn't mop up. We're 1-0. Like, we were mopping up until some of Homeboy's players wanted to come to life. But in my other league that I'm in, I mopped the floor with Homeboy, like 140 to 80 something. Like, it wasn't even fair. Like, I might even buy him Bucs tickets after the rape I put on this kid. It was sad, man. So, who was your fantasy god? We can look at your personal team or our team.
I mean, our team, we had Adam Thielen and CeeDee Lamb and Joe Mixon. So they ball. So for me in my tar league, which is a 3-keeper league, one of my keepers was Mr. Kyler Murray. And Kyler Murray is a dog, like I've been saying. Small guy, but he an MVP candidate already. Last year he got off to a good start as well, but he got hurt. This year, they coming. Like, we talked about it. I think we talked about it when we did the NFC West preview, how the 4 teams in the NFC West are all really good. The 4 teams in the NFC West are 4-0, and the 4 teams in the NFC West are 4-0. So, like, if you play on the West Coast, you're a dog. And Kyler Murray is one of those dogs. So, I think he put up like 45 fantasy points. Well, everyone's scoring is different. But for me, he was QB1. And then Joe Mixon. Like Joe Mixon's only issue is health. But when Joe Mixon is healthy, he gonna carry that rock and he gonna do a good job with it. So
yeah, and punching college girls too. But other than that, those
whoa, we're not going there. We're talking about his fantasy performance. Those are my two dogs.
So almost everybody on my fantasy team scored a touchdown, or had like 100 yards or had a really good game. So we obviously let it know what happened in our league. In my personal league, dude, Russ cooked for me, bro. Russ cooked for me.
Let Russ cook.
Like when I tell you what I have, it's not even fair. D-Hop cooked for me. Thielen cooked for me. Like we knew that was coming. Like everybody knew that was coming.
Remember I hit you before the game. I was like, "Yo, Allen Robinson's about to play Jalen Ramsey."
We both said,
and Thielen got the Bengals.
Exactly. Nick Chubb, my first overall pick, cooked. And then last minute, I decided to make this move, but it doesn't even matter. I still scored a plethora amount of points, so who cares? I decided to put Sutton in, but the guy we poo-pooed on, Mr. Melvin Gordon, man.
Oh.
Mr. Melvin Gordon had himself a day.
He rode the bench?
Yeah. Yeah, he rode the bench, but it's okay. I had 17, almost 18 points on the bench from him, but it's all good. It's no big deal. Also played defensive player as well, so I have Bobby Wagner who got me a solid 10 points. So
shoot, imagine you had Chandler Jones though.
Yeah,
five sack little weekend.
and I got the best kicker in the league, Justin Tuck. So we're good there. Yeah. So the one fantasy guy who I'm sure everybody's like pissed off at is definitely Aaron Rodgers. He's definitely a guy you got to be mad at game.
The whole Packer organization.
Exactly. Everybody on the Packers you got to be kind of mad at. Even Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry had a pretty bad game. And then we thought we had a steal, and I'm kind of like, I'm not getting rid of him, obviously. We're going to wait and see approach, but I totally forgot about this. Mr. James Robinson had a great year last year.
Yeah, he shot the bet.
But he was out-touched.
Carlos Hyde.
And Urban Meyer has for Carlos Hyde.
I see, and it's starting to piss me off because I got him in one of my leagues. He was my 16th round keeper, so I'm not mad that I kept him. But I should have kept Mahomes. Mahomes is what killed me week one.
He should be eaten, man. So there's a lot of questions going on in there, but
you know who's the biggest question for me? Saquon Barkley. I got Saquon in one of my leagues, and I don't know what the hell to do with him. He plays tomorrow, maybe. We don't know. By the time this episode airs out, he might not be on the active roster as a participant, but you know, he didn't play well week one. The offensive line still stinks. So I put him on the trade block. I don't know what the hell's going to happen with that. But Saquon, I don't know, man. I don't know.
I'd make a trade for him really quick, but my league won't do that. But yeah, man, it was definitely a good week fantasy for us. Did you win in your other league?
I got outscored, man.
Oh, that sucks.
Listen to this roster. Listen to my receivers. I got Devontae Adams, and I didn't know he was going to shit the bed. I got D-Hop, and I got Amari Cooper, who all played well. Logan Thomas played well. Miles Sanders played well. Josh Allen played decent. But homie had Patrick Mahomes. Yeah. And he had Travis Kelce. And in my other league, man, I had Kyler Murray. I had Joe Mixon. It's just.
Oh, you're in 3 leagues.
No, I'm in 2 plus hours.
Oh, so you're in 3 leagues.
3 leagues, yeah. So I just got outscored in the other ones, and they both put up good points. For me, here's what's gonna happen. Every year, I put up the most points and have the worst matchups every week. Like every week, I play the team that's playing on their best behavior. So that's what's gonna happen.
We wish we could give you fantasy advice, but obviously the waiver wire is probably done by now, and those transactions have gone through.
I hope you got Elijah Mitchell.
Yeah, if some idiot didn't get Elijah Mitchell, go get him. And if Cleveland defense is there, pick them up, man.
I drafted them and I put them on the bench for 1 week because I knew they're playing against Kansas City, but I'm back to streaming them. Player to look at for me really quickly before we get into our next and final segment. Look at the receiving core for the Broncos. Jerry Judy's gonna be out for a few weeks. Cortland Sutton, Tim Patrick, Hamler, like they got some options over there that you can look at. And then the Cardinals, they're gonna be airing that thing out. So Christian Kirk, Rondell Moore, those are some guys that are probably not been picked up yet that I'd probably look into
if you're a receiver needing, and
yeah.
We dropped Marvin Jones, bro.
We did. We didn't need him.
Good. It's all good. We didn't need him.
He balled though.
We did.
But we didn't need him.
Our team is ridiculous, and now Allen Robinson is going to start for us next week. I'm pretty sure. So
yeah, I'll put him at start. Don't worry. I put him in the flex over James Robinson.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
So, another guy to look at on my side, I would say Justin Herbert's still really young. Jared Cook is out there.
Yes, that was a guy that I put interested in.
Jared Cook is a guy who likes to cook, man. I always say he's always been very undervalued everywhere he goes. That's why he's just a journeyman, and everywhere he goes, ever since his St. Louis days, is balled out. So Jared Cook is available. Give him a look at it.
He's taking over Hunter Henry, who got a lot of targets as well. So the tight end spot they're going to be throwing the ball to the tight end in Los Angeles. So definitely
agree. All right. No more fun segment. We're going NFL Pick-Ems at the end of the show. So what we're going to do is we're going to give 5 intriguing, in our opinion. You might have them because it's your fan base, but we're going to give the 5 most intriguing games of the week. And KK and I are going to give our predictions of the winner.
Keep a tally.
Winner, the score, and at the end of the year, we'll tally them all up and see who was right and go from there. So we'll start with the very first game, or the 1:00 games that we have. We'll go Los Angeles Rams versus the Indianapolis Colts. You want me to go first on my prediction?
Yeah, go ahead.
You writing them down?
Yeah.
Okay. It's in Indy. Indy fans are great fans. However, these Rams are projected to be going to the Super Bowl, and they got that defense. And I'm just not sold on the Carson Wentz effect yet. Think it'll be a good game because both teams have really good defenses. The X factor is, in my opinion, is going to be Carson Wentz and what he's going to do. Can he make those plays? 27-21 Rams.
27-21 Rams. All right. This one's tricky. The game's in Indy, correct?
It is in Indy.
So typically these West Coast teams travel to the East, and there's a little bit of a drop off in play. They're not too far east where the travel is going to be too bad. We did just see the Seattle Seahawks travel from Seattle to Indy and beat them as well. It's weird to see the Colts have a possibility to go 0-2, but man, the way the Rams look Sunday night, I got to give them the edge. I don't want to give them the edge because I want to, take a risk on this one. Like if this was the parlay bullshit, I probably pick the Colts. But I'll take the Rams on this one. I say score a little bit more. I say it's like 30 to 24. 30-24 the Rams.
Okay. Let's go game 2. I'm writing them down too, so we have make sure.
All right.
Another 1:00 game. Buffalo is going down to Miami.
Oof.
Divisional game.
Yes.
Divisional game. Dolphins are 1-0. Buffalo is supposed to win this division. And I think it's going to be a nail biter. I think it's going to come down to a field goal. I'm going Buffalo. I'm sorry, Dolphins fans. Buffalo 27-24 is what it's going to be.
Similar. I have a similar. Again, it's a certain teams I just don't know if I can see them at 0-2. I don't know if I can see the Bills 0-2. It's tricky though because the game is in Miami. But I feel like, and then Miami has a very good defense. Their corner. You know what? I'm picking the Dolphins.
Okay.
Their corners are really damn good, and all the Bills want to do is throw the ball. I'm gonna pick the Dolphins 27-24. That's what you got too, right? I got the Dolphins 27-24.
Just flipping the winners. Okay, yeah. I like it. All right, let's go to another 1:00 game. Las Vegas Raiders versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. It is in Pittsburgh. We know that shit turns up there, not like those fake Vegas fans that traveled all the way from Oakland and Los Angeles. So I think the John Gruden shit is a fluke. I think it was a lucky win. And I think it's going to be a mash. I'm going Pittsburgh 32-14.
I like it. Same reasons why I don't believe in Derek Carr and I don't believe in John Gruden. I do believe in Max Crosby. Max Crosby earned himself some money the way he was looking against Villanueva, who needs to be cut. I don't know if Villanueva's been cut yet, but I got the Raiders losing. I got the Steelers winning 28-17. So what did you have? 30-14?
32-14.
32-14. I got 28-17.
I got that.
All right.
Jerry's world is going out wester. So Cowboys take on Chargers. I think this is going to be a really good game. I think Justin Herbert is going to right the ship and look a little bit better than he did, but I'm all in on Dak, bro. I want to eat my words on it. I'm going to say another nail biter game. I'm going to go 30-27 Dallas.
All right. 30-27. Well, you know me. I don't mind picking the Cowboys to win a football game. I'm not crazy, but they're going to the West Coast.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to the West Coast. You see this boy Justin Herbert? That boy's nice, man. That defense is about to get after this effed up O-line, and losing Michael Gallup is going to be bigger than people realize. They got Derwin James.
Don't sleep on that boy Wilson, man.
Hey, who the hell is number one? Anyway, give me the Chargers, 31-28.
Okay. All right, and the last one that we got is the Monday night game. It's got to be probably the biggest game all week. You get to see two MVPs go at it with each other.
It's Sunday night.
You sure it's not Monday night?
Monday night is Aaron Rodgers in Detroit.
Before Sunday you were talking, you said it was Monday night. So
yeah, that was my mistake. Sunday night.
I look like
which is better. The NBC broadcast is better than me. I gotta listen to Chris Collinsworth talk crazy.
I can't stand him and Al Mike. They're like the guys from the Muppets that are in the stands.
Yeah. But I get Drew Brees and Tony Dungy, and you know.
I'm game for that. All right, so we get to see two MVPs go at it. Lamar Jackson or Patrick Mahomes goes into Baltimore to face Lamar Jackson. It's always tough for the Ravens beginning of the season because they start really, really slow and they have bad matchups, but they pick it up during the season. But it is Mahomes, man, and I can't root against him. I do think the Ravens are going to bring their all, but I don't think it's going to be enough. I'm going to say KC 34-27.
What was the score?
34-27.
All right. Yeah, I mean, that's why I said my bad loss was the Ravens versus the Raiders, because they needed that one to be 1-1, because there's no way to beat. There's a way. There's a way. There's too much question marks right now in Baltimore, so I got the Chiefs 27-21.
Okay.
27-21. So you got Rams, Bills, Steelers, Cowboys, and Chiefs. I got Rams, Dolphins. Am I allowed to change that?
You can change it, yeah. What would you want? We have the same score, so we'll like cancel each other out on.
I'm gonna stick with the Dolphins, man. I'm gonna stick with the Dolphins. Nah, you know what? I'm going back to the Bills. Give me the Bills.
All right, I'm making the changes here, man.
I'm gonna be pissed off because the Dolphins are gonna win this game.
Don't text throughout the week and say some shit.
I'm going with the Bills, and then I got the Steelers, Chargers, and Chiefs.
Keeping the same score, so we're gonna cancel out basically on the Buffalo Miami game.
Yeah, that one's gonna cancel out, but the rest of them, the scores will be the tiebreakers. But how are we gonna do it? Because 27, 21, and 30. Nah, it's cool. It's cool. Whatever happens, we'll work out the point system on Sunday or whatever. But this is what we got, folks. This is what we got. Go Chargers. I've always cheered closetly for the Chargers as well.
I have to.
They playing the damn Cowboys. Let's beat up on these damn Cowboys.
I have to. I just don't like their defense, man. Their defense is like rocky to me. I know they have all these secondary guys that they drafted, but like we haven't seen that boy from Florida State play like a whole season yet. Yeah. We get a preview and then he gets hurt. So hopefully Asante Samuel and I can't even remember his name.
Derwin James.
Derwin James. Yeah, there we go. Hopefully he has a great season in year 3. So rooting
And
for him.
just for kicks and giggles, since the game is tomorrow, who you got with Washington, New York? This is a shit bowl, the toilet bowl.
Bro, even without a quarterback, I think Washington can take it, man. Like they could throw anybody. Ron Rivera could go in there and play quarterback and still win that game.
You think they go after Cam?
I don't think so. I told you my prediction. Cam lands in Pittsburgh.
Oh yeah, Pittsburgh.
I don't think so. I think that relationship is on the rocks or whatever. And
it's over. Yeah, it's over. All right.
But we'll see.
Yeah.
We play New England this week. I can't wait to get our shit pushed in. So
we got San Fran. I gotta hit up Faraz, see what's going on with that, because I know he's confident. But we did beat San Fran last year, so hey, anything is possible.
Townie Sports. Let's watch this game, boys. I'm ready, man. I'm ready.
Oh, yeah. That's on Sunday, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll pull up to like Peabody's at the Jets bar.
Not there anymore.
Where they at now?
It's at this place called Gas Bars in like, not the one in Ybor.
Not the Ybor one? Okay.
Yeah, it's like in Temple Terrace or some shit. Like somebody probably gets stabbed there.
I'll pull up. Yeah, I might pull up on y'all.
We'll see. But good luck to everybody in fantasy. Hopefully your teams win. Have a safe week. Brush your teeth. Wash your hands. The rundown, Twitter at @fair_weather_pod, IG, Facebook, YouTube, the Fair Weather Podcast, and wherever you subscribe to podcasts or listen to podcasts, you can find us there by just searching the Fair Weather Podcast.
Fly Eagles fly, go blue. USF will get the first win against FAMU on Saturday. Number 46 school in the nation, just saying. Fastest growing school in the nation, University of South Florida. Let's go.